life on the road in this league. Tip of the hat to Northwestern. They were 1 point better. We played a great 25 minutes. Unfortunately, it's a 40-minute league, and can't get off to a start like that. And that's on me. 24 points, we spotted them, but I will tell you, our guys' grit and toughness and, just kept fighting. I was proud of them for that, and we'll bounce back.
Brian Fonseca.
Steve, you kind of touched on it, but you guys really couldn't look like a different team.
You're muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Good.
No.
Sorry. You guys really couldn't look like, you touched on this, but you really couldn't look like a different team on either end of halftime. I guess just what was going wrong in the first half and what went right after halftime? What did you guys fix?
Well, obviously giving up 43 points in the first half is not Rutgers basketball, and we turned the basketball over a ton. That's been one of our Achilles heels in the first half of games, turning the ball over at an alarming rate. And then the second half we played Rutgers basketball and grit and toughness, and Paul kind of was willing us to. I couldn't take him out. Cliff made some huge plays. Career highs by both those guys. Just didn't get the stops in the first half and can't spot a team 24 points when you're on the road, not in this league.
Chris Eisman.
Yes, Steve, can you kind of just, with what Paul was able to do tonight, what stood out about the way he played and how he was able to kind of put you guys on your back?
Spectacular, really spectacular. Just grit, will. He's great. He was great. He really was. He kind of kept us in. He got to the free throw line. He got downhill. He made shots. But I just loved him directing the entire, second half and the first half too. And just kind of willed us, back into this basketball game. Again, we're down 25 points. 24 points to a good team on the road that's been in every single game. And so they got a lot of experience with these, 1-2 possession games.
Aaron Brightman.
Hey, Coach. Wanted to ask about this switch to the zone that caused Northwestern problems. Just the thought process and going to that switch, and also the incorporating the press early on in the second half.
Well, we weren't stopping them, playing man-to-man. So we got enough different things we could go to. We just, kind of took them out of rhythm. We got good length in it, and it, helped us tonight. But you have to do those kind of things when you're down that many points.
Bobby Darren.
Steve, what's kind of your message to the guys after this game? Tough loss on the road.
Yeah, that is my message to them. You got to play 40 minutes. It's a big boy league, and every team is really good, especially when you go on the road. And, you can't spot a team. You can't play like that in the first half. You can't turn the ball over for no reason 10 times. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give Northwestern credit. They've been fighting and fighting and fighting. And, they made a couple more plays than us down the stretch. They got off to that great start. We had a great second half. And then it came down to overtime, and they were 1 point better in overtime.
Bruce Beck.
Steve, Mulcahy was fantastic. Was there any way you could have gotten him the last shot? Would you have liked the ball in his hands?
Yeah, the ball was in his hands the whole time, but we had no timeout left. And, Ron, I trust Ron's made a lot of good plays for us. He got a good look at it. The turnover before that probably hurt us, more than anything, not getting a shot up, but when you're in that kind of situation and you got the ball in your leading scorer's hands and he gets a clean look, at the basket, he's made a lot of those, but yeah, obviously Paul was, really, really good. And, you'd like the ball in his hands, but I feel good about Ron. I feel good about Gio. I feel good about Paul. It doesn't come down to that last shot. It's the first half. Everyone's going to look at that. Shouldn't have been in that situation if we got off to the start that we needed to. But we spotted the team 24 points, and you got to use so much energy at every play you got to make now, and you got to make every open shot. It's just a hard way to play.
Brian.
Can you hear me? Just to be sure. Can you hear me? Good. Caleb didn't play for after the 1840 mark in the second half. Obviously, it's a decision that ended up working out because you guys made the comeback. But I'm just curious, was it a health thing or was that a coaching decision?
No, I made a great. I played those guys that got us back into the game. So I love Caleb. It wasn't his night, and I was playing those guys. I wasn't going to take Paul out. I wasn't going to, take Cliff out. I wasn't going to do any of that. And I thought, like Mwatt's energy, I like those guys' energy. Just went with them.
Aaron,
And coach, touching on Gio, obviously not one of his best nights. Any specific message to him, and was there anything that jumped out to you that was plaguing him?
I mean, Aaron, I just, my main message to the team, the game just ended here, was 40-minute league, and Gio bounced back. It wasn't about that. I mean, you guys will look at stats and you guys can do all that kind of analyzing. It was about our defense. And in the first half, we gave up 43 points. You can't do that on the road in this league. This team is a really good offensive team, and so that was really, our issue. We'll take a look at the shots he took. Gio makes a lot of shots too, but we'll go over some of that with him. But, really just, disappointed in how we got started defensively, and the turnovers too were costly.